everyone. Today's a very big day. I wanted to share with you how this past year brought many things into perspective for me involving my life, aviation career, and of course content creation. Last year, I, as well as all of you, found ourselves in the middle of a pandemic for COVID-19, completely uprooting our daily lives, family life, social life, careers, and financial stability. Most aspects of our lives either completely stopped or were vastly different. And my experience with 2020 was no different. But I wanted to give you a brief history to really show you how much had changed. I was working at my regional airline. I flew full-time, and it was only getting better. The airlines were booming, people were traveling. It was a great time to be a pilot. But during 2020, I only flew 117 hours. And that's with the doors closed, the planes on, engines are running. And let me put this into perspective of how different that was. In 2019, before COVID, I had quit my previous flying job in January. And after 3 months of training, I was finally flying the Embraer 175 for this regional airline. I was about 4 months with zero flying, nothing to show for those 4 months, besides, of course, the type rating. My first flight with this airline was April 19th, and by the end of 2019, I had flown just over 500 hours. It's with a 4-month break. And in 2018, I flew 980 hours. So you can see how 117 hours in a year is vastly different. And it was what my peers and colleagues called the rodeo with the airlines. They had experienced 9/11, 2008, and other economical problems that brought the airlines to its knees. And of course, when the airlines do that, they lay off thousands of pilots, and eventually they'll bring them back. That's the reality of an airline pilot. Thankfully, with 2020, my airline and quite a few others fared decently well with the CARES Act from the government. So I wasn't laid off, but the whole world was still shut down, and I wasn't flying. No one was traveling anywhere. And my career was crumbling before my eyes, with no way to fix it, and everything's completely out of my control. So here I am, stuck at home for weeks, which was weird because I don't think I'd ever spent more than a weekend home since college. And I'd only streamed on my days off for fun. I love video games. I love the communities that you become a part of with Twitch and video games. And we had created a wonderful community, as small as it was, as new as it was then. And we were a part of so many wonderful communities, from Deadly Slob, Markstrom, Running Mans, and there's countless communities we're a part of. I'm so grateful to be a part of them. But in 2020, with everything going on and the going on in the world and everything that was going on, 2020 turned out better than I had ever expected. And last year gave me a lot of time and ability to reflect on how I'd been leading my life. And to be honest, I didn't really like what I saw. I was living to work. I lived in Colorado at this time for over 3 years. I had 2 friends that I had met through work. I hadn't done any adventures to really go experience Colorado and the Rocky Mountains. I'd given up all my hobbies. I hadn't gone snowboarding, fishing, camping, any of my other hobbies besides streaming for years at this point. I was disappointed in myself, because I always wanted to work to live and not live to work. And I didn't always want to be a pilot. I fell into it during college because I had a very simple want out of a career. I didn't want a cubicle. I wanted something that changed, was challenging, had you on your toes, and enough time and funds to be able to travel and see the world that, I want to see. I want to go see some international areas. And that's a pretty simple request, right? Well, even though I work for an airline and I fly over the domestic US, Canada, and Mexico, I hadn't really been able to use the benefits of working for an airline or being a pilot to go see the world that I wanted to see. And even though I'm a pilot, it was still really tough. They don't pay you much as a younger person and a new person, especially in a regional airline. And my job became so stale. There's so much automation in these planes. You fly for 15 minutes at the beginning and 15 minutes at the end. I'm not saying you can't fly more, but there's not necessarily a point when you're going in a straight line all the time. And my job was making me unhappy, and it only took a global pandemic to realize this. Since I wasn't flying in 2020, I didn't have much of a social life, not that you could go see anyone. I streamed. Probably too much. But man, it was so great. We have met wonderful people that I now get to call friends. I'm honored to get to call friends. We've gone on adventures with them. We went snowboarding with Magpie and Ames. We just recently were teaching Rock Mom and Rock Dad how to fly fish. And of course, travel. And this last year we got partner, we got to be in Twitch Rivals twice, participate in drops for Tarkov, charity events for the veterans, and work with some awesome companies. And now with the world coming back to a normal state, flying is of course picked back up. And to be honest, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. We're back to a schedule where I'm home maybe 10 days a month, being gone 4 days in a row, and I only get paid 18 hours for those 4 days. Misogynistic old captains, meh or gross hotels, 12-hour workdays or more, waking up at 3 a.m., all of it. I didn't enjoy anything from work anymore. And I particularly didn't even feel like I flew the plane anymore. And for the first time since working a crappy gas station job during college just to get by, I actually dreaded going to work. And so recently, I decided against all of my peers and family and friends, and of course my own reasoning to quit. Today I quit my airline job. It's the end of the 2-week notice. And today we are starting our journey, my journey, as a full-time content creator. And I thank you all for being here this last year, supporting me even now. And I can't wait to see what we accomplish. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And I hope to see you more.